I have a love note for you. Humanity is thankfully colorblind. Our leadership is short-sighted, and love is not a currency. I like to read a letter to you, my American friend, to the good people, and a few words for the not so good people. I don't like this man. I must get to know him better. Those were the words of an American president who lived in the 1900s. He also said, no man has a good enough memory to be a successful liar. To those in office, the brave people of your land, people of all creed and red and blue, are protesting in every kind of weather. Unknowingly, they're becoming the peace and freedom fighters who, as they march forward, are stepping into history. They are marching because they do not recognize the land of the free, because you took a political scalpel and mutilated it, disfigured it. The streets where they stand, united in their passion for their country, will tell this story to future generations. To understand them, you must understand this. You are standing against universal sisterhood and brotherhood. One global family, red, white, blue, brown, black. Humanity is colorblind, and you are short-sighted. The world thermometer reads high fever. An Ukrainian maternity hospital is bombed while 3 women are in labor. 4,000 children have been taken away from their school and are now in custody in a US jail, separated from their families, away from home, alone, scared, and traumatized for life. You give orders to jailed children, then return home to eat with your children. Your mind isn't sick, your mind is terminally ill. Just pray that when this nightmare is over, you will find mercy in the eyes of humanity. Because who acts forgets, but the tree remembers. You keep trying to plant the devil's seeds in our soul, but we never watered it. We never have, never will. Freedom denied by force is called tyranny, and tyranny never leads to the growth of a society. Different people, same behaviors. History doesn't repeat facts. It often repeats failures. The world is ugly. A civilization is under attack, attacked by some megalomaniac with the IQ of a scallop. By the time today's ends, 20,000 children from different countries will have died from war, starvation, and preventable diseases. My friends, 20,000 a day, multiply that by 365. At the same time, 16 million American kids go to bed hungry. 16 million. An administration that fails to safeguard its children, its women, its veterans, and its elders has already collapsed. It is not wounded, it is dead from within. Humanity isn't living a mess on Earth and escaping to Mars to live inside an expensive bubble. The guy, the reckless, radioactive dude behind this project, I publicly admitted that the risks are high. The probability of dying could be much greater than on Earth. Brilliant. So we claim we cannot spare a few million to keep children healthy and alive here on Earth, yet we are willing to spend billions to risk lives on a planet located 9 months away. And what about the supersized data centers? An emerging and very troubling national trend where big tech and data center developers are choosing vulnerable, low-income communities as sacrifice zone. You heard it, sacrifice zones in the race for global dominance in AI. A sacrifice zone where 90% of the residents are Black and Latino. Would that be considered as a population control? A complicit genocide that we're not talking about a crime against humanity, Is that the master plan? Is that your plan to be bringing lower academic performance, structural brain changes, high risk of anxiety, depression, asthma, lung cancer, ADHD, premature death, heart hypertension, chronic stress, blood pressure, and on to those families, to those children, those angels, the America of tomorrow, the world of tomorrow? One of you, just one public servant with moral authority, with pure, unfiltered, naked courage. Because courage is the most beautiful dress or suit you could ever wear. Climb those steps and stand behind the world's loudest microphone. In a few words, become that presence, become the hero with words both firm and true, restore the peace to the streets and to the heart of those who won't place their faith in you. Because one person with courage makes a majority. As one of my greatest inspirations, Harvey Milk, once said, "You've got to give them hope." Americans truly are genuine people. I know it. I lived there for 30 years. I loved it. Their spirit is generous and kind. We protested together. We broke bread together with those in need. We delivered care to our elders together. For years, loving our neighbors is the moral rent for living on this earth. During all those years in the US, people often ask me the same question about what's the difference between living in Europe and the US. I'd expected a long answer. Instead, I gave them one word. As Europe says, why? The US says, why not? One single word, but a very short, but with a long impact. You beautiful people, keep being that why not the world admires so much. The why not of all possibilities. The why not of strength and faith. The why not of courage, love, compassion, and empathy. The why not of audacity. Standing strong against violence, a defiant why not that cannot be silenced, because violence is a form of slavery. Don't trust the lie dressed as hope, say. Even cyanide looks like water. Even arsenic looks like silver and gold. Snow is white, and so are lies. Don't trust, you are not a domestic terrorist. You are a beautiful world inspiration. When greed sleeps with violence, it gives birth to heartless, soulless mutants. Some hide behind masks and guns, others hide behind deceptions. But the most powerful weapon on earth is the human soul on fire. And fire turns corruption to ashes. Humanity is marching on, and as long as there is a pulse, a breath, a flicker of life, a flicker of hope, humanity will keep marching on. Marching today, peace tomorrow. Over 95% of the despotic rulers in history are men. And look where we are today. The psychological core of male domination is fear. Fear of insignificance, fear of vulnerability, fear of loss of status, greed, dominance, and violence are defensive behaviors, result of deep insecurity. Men were historically rewarded for domination and destruction. Women historically rewarded for protection and survival of the group. Only 26% of women in parliaments globally. Only 10% of women heads of state. Joan of Arc was 17 years old when she led an army of 10,000 men into battle in 1429. Many say she rose a spirit like nothing they've seen before, making soldiers feel protected, turning fear into confidence. She was a country girl devoted to justice, leading 10,000 souls and never used a sword because, to quote her, "I wanted to inspire, not to kill." 70 years old. That is 40 to 60 years younger than many of today's so-called male leaders who are shattering our societies. Male who brand themselves as lions or fox, yet spooked by a bunny. The bliss, about 88% of the nursing workforce in the US is female. The pain, only 12% are male, and yet you find a way to execute one of them. Unfortunately, the people who are giving up of being a human being won't watch this video because they're too busy giving up on being a good human being. Although we vastly outnumber them, they command the world attention because the machinery of terror is far louder than hugs. And there is nothing to steal from love. Love cannot be corrupted, for love is not a currency. They sold their soul to the god of cash long ago, the moment they realized honesty wasn't profitable. They are emotionally bankrupt. Hate moved in when love moved out. If you mix the blue and the red together, it gives you the color purple, the color of bravery and wisdom. The bravery to protect the words united we stand. The wisdom to acknowledge the words divided we fall. Let us quiet the mind, but raise your voice. Shout for those who are not heard. To those in the administration, I sometimes wonder whether you ever have bed or mirrors. How could you possibly sleep at night or look at your own reflection knowing that 19 penniless, barefoot Buddhist monks walked 2,300 miles through your land, leading your country by example? How can you sleep knowing that those leaders embodied everything you claim to despise? They're poor, they're foreigners, their faith is peace, respect, and love, and they're healing the wound you left behind, the casualty your masked executioners of the apocalypse left behind. But it's never too late for redemption. It is a beautiful thing being a human being. You should try it. We are perfect in our imperfections, but we're capable of goodness. We are tough to decipher, but easy to read. Complicated to love, but easy to like. We laugh at our absurdities and turn hardship into comedy, pain into wisdom, breaking and unbreaking our heart and still asking for more. We are ephemeral, but we can leave traces of kindness that outlast us. We are believers and forgivers. And believing and forgiving are the attributes of the strong. We believe in the sun even if it doesn't shine. One, why not, at a time. And the president who once said, "I don't like this man, I must get to know him better," also said something very profound. I don't see my opponents as enemies, but as misguided brothers. That was a Republican president. His name was Abraham Lincoln. Lincoln scored 10 out of the 10 most crucial qualities a true leader should have: moral courage, empathy, humility, integrity, respect for human dignity, wisdom, self-restraint, ability to unite, accountability, and a sense of service. But those are not merely the qualities of a leader. They are the quality of a good human being. Here's the good news. Millions of people with those qualities are out there peacefully protesting. They rise by lifting others, making injustice visible, and forcing tyranny to look at itself in the mirror of truth. So there is hope, my friends. America, your why not is beautifully sustainable because it is far cheaper than a data center, yet it gives off far more power. France loves you plenty. Keep shining.